silent wings in the foam, with laser eyes gleaming, death calls them home. Honorable battle brothers. Steel fins slicing through currents of war, they bring fire beneath from the ocean floor. No mercy, no warning, just a flash in the blue. Sinkers are coming, and they're coming for you. Honorable battle brothers. Honorable battle brothers. Steel fins slicing through currents of war, they bring fire beneath from the ocean floor. No mercy, no warning, just a flash in the blue. Sinkers are coming, and they're coming for you. Honorable battle brothers. Sinkers of the tide, from the depths they ride, with missiles and fear they draw ever near. Sinkers of the tide, on waves of blood they glide. The gylos laugh, beneath they hide, the barricades won't survive. Radar goes dark, the scanners all fail, the silence erupts with the warhead hail. Slender and silver, like ghosts in the spray, the sinkers attack, then vanish away. Honorable battle brothers. No honor in ambush, no flags to unfurl. They strike in the depths, they poison the world. The hellic defenders scream through the brine, but their cries are lost to the sinkers aside. Honorable battle brothers. Torpedoes are lock on targets launch. Sinkers of the tide, let the oceans burn wide. The Empire commands, they crush with cold hands. Sinkers of the tide, no escape, nowhere to hide. The barricaders break the fight, but sinkers rule the night. From the reef to the shore, they bring the storm. In the warfare side, they're the aquatic swarm. Beneath the waves, the sinkers glide, with gyro steel and empire pride. Sinkers of the tide. Sinkers of the tide, let the oceans burn wide. The Empire commands, they crush with cold hands. Sinkers of the tide, no escape, nowhere to hide. The barricaders brave the fight, but sinkers rule the night. No honorable battle brothers, monster brothers. No honorable brothers. Years of fire crack the moon, cleanses, burns, a storm returns. This is the second war. From the ruins of Zeniba's cries, to the wastelands under shattered skies. A kingdom fell, a moon was torn. Now Kylo strikes with blades reborn. Shadowfell attacks and crimson dust, mold the drill, Iguan thrust. Marching steel and conquest screams, they ride the rust of broken dreams. Occupiers are back into the flames. The sky is burning with forgotten names. Until it's unleashed, mechanized warlust. Chorus grows and red hearts crush. No surrender, no retreat. The Republic roars from every street. This is the second strike, Clemency ignites. Iron calmed, the Titan stands, smashing hopes with burning hands. While from the clouds, with vengeance raw, Salamander spreads the law. Down with fury, thunder, wing. The terrace rise, the air they sing. Godulous walk, the ground does scream. The final war of mental dreams. Cones and ash from the first war still linger, but peace was a wound, never a cure. They said the past would not return, but cease to bleed and empires burn. The moon's a grave, but we still fight. We'll never fade yours. I'll stand tall. We rise, brother. We burn, we answer the call. This is the second strike. The skies explode with Zoid war might. Automotives built from bolts and flame. Every cockpit knows the name of freedom's roar and empire's pain. The war begins again, again. This war's our legacy, brother, our rage. The future's written in rockets and roars. Through empires crash in thunder wars. This is the second strike, and Planet T will never be the same. Zoids never die, they just rule. Now come for the no return. No peace was won, the coffin of no return. Up from the clouds with vengeance raw, salamander spreads the law. Talon, fury, thundering, the terrorists rise, the air they sing. Our Jews walk, the ground does scream, the final war of metal dreams.
Metallic giants rise from lying grounds. Blue guardians count the heart. Lights and fury in the sky.